In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I think the Sony ZV-1 is a better camera than the M50 for video. Let's talk about it. What's up, entrepreneurs? Welcome back to Entre Woman TV. And on this channel, I have a camera problem. Basically, I love gear and all those things, but I try to use that knowledge to be able to help you make better buying decisions, like we'll be diving into this video, as well as video marketing tips. But let's talk about the elephant in the room before we get any bit further. And no, not because I'm hand holding the microphone, that's not the elephant, but just in case you're curious, I'm just testing out a new handheld unit, so that's what we're doing, so get over it. So but no, seriously, the thing is with the Canon M50 versus the ZV-1, already people are probably thinking, well, one is an interchangeable lens camera, so it really doesn't need any kind of, it's better just because you can switch the lenses out and get better performance through the lenses. And I agree with that to a certain extent. However, most people that are considering the Canon M50 and that would probably or have bought the Canon M50, they aren't looking to buy a whole bunch of lenses. And honestly, most people, when they're new, they don't even know that they need a different lens to get blurry backgrounds or sharper image quality, or they don't understand all of those different components, as many of us didn't. And so now you realize that price tag of a budget-friendly or cheap camera now is starting to increase, and now your small camera starts to become a bigger kit because you're constantly adding more things. I think it's the differentiator. Honestly, for the specs and the features that the ZV-1 has, it's not it's not your granddad's camera. It's not the old recording camcorder from back in the day. It really is punching above its weight class. So that's why I'm even comparing them. So let's get into my 5 favorite things. So reason number 1, I would say definitely buy the Sony ZV-1 over the M50, clean HDMI out. And even though there are ways to get around the limitations around live streaming with the M50, I've done a ton of those videos, and there's a HDMI and a USB method. Oh, but wait, with the HDMI, like, you don't have to think about that. Already natively built into the camera is clean HDMI out. That means you can send both audio and video through a capture card like the Elgato Camlink that's been sold out for forever. But I think we've gotten to a place, honestly, in the world where live streaming, digital meetings and things like that have a stronger precedence than they did before. And it's something that we honestly have to probably keep using and keep looking at more heavily than we did before. And so clean HDMI out of the camera that you buy and not needing to upgrade within 1 to 2 years, this camera has it already. So bonus tip, you can actually record at the same time that you're live streaming. So second reason why I think the ZV-1 is a better camera, unlimited recording, not just in 1080p, but also in 4K ultra high definition video as well. Your videos may be shorter. I'd like to have a larger ceiling when I'm doing video so that when it comes time, if I ever need to use it again, like now using my talks and recording my own live streams and things like that, separate and apart from the actual stream footage, then I want to make sure I can record the whole thing. I'd rather go in and edit it shorter than to constantly be looking at clips and trying to see what parts are not there. So unlimited recording in 1080p as well as in 4K, game changer. The third thing is that with the lens already built into the camera for the ZV-1, you're going to be able to get a blurry background. Now, again, as I was saying early in this video, is that most people find out later that the lens that comes with the camera is not the one that's going to give them the blurry background. And now you're looking at potentially buying a lens that may be as much as the camera was. And now this, again, seemingly cheap expense or investment has now become an expense because it's like, well, crap, I didn't know I would need to buy that. Or if you're looking at a cheaper one, you're like, oh, well, yeah, I may get a blurry background, but it's not as sharp, and you'll get all the way into a whole other space when it comes to doing content now. So even when you zoom, you can go from an f1.7 to an f2.8 at the lowest. So you have this 24 essentially to 70 millimeter or something like that, not including clear image zoom. This is another bonus that's in that camera. But the fact that no matter where you zoom at, basically, you can pretty much keep a blurry background that'll be great in low light. And it's just very nice that people that are considering buying a camera don't have to buy anything extra. Everything that they kind of want is already built into this one package. So third thing, the lens is great. The fourth reason to consider buying the Sony ZV-1 over the M50, internal USB charging. I cannot gloat about this enough, because even though right now I'm using my Sony a6600 to record this, even when you're out and about and you're vlogging or you're capturing your day, whatever is going on, you can just toss on a small battery bank, or if you're traveling in between clips or you're stopping to eat, because your camera literally isn't running in just normal use case, even for vlogging your video, it's not running 24/7. So at some point, same way you would top off your phone, or when you're in the car and you're driving, you top off your camera, you can do the same thing because it has internal USB charging. Again, game changer. The fifth and final reason, of many other reasons, but that I think just kind of takes the cake, is that you honestly have superior video features and less limitations. When the camera came out, it already had limitations, so the ceiling was pretty low for the camera by itself. So the camera wouldn't age out or get old. It's just honestly hitting its limitations early on because it didn't have a whole lot of space to begin with. With the ZV-1, you're looking at the product showcase mode, you're looking at internal USB charging, you're looking at all these things not because it's new, but because the baseline of the starting features within that camera are already pretty much great and what most people would want in upgradable cameras, or that next one up that they're going to. So honestly, again, like I said, the M50 isn't showing its age per se, it's just showing its limitations, and the ZV-1 is already starting out the gate not having a whole lot of limitations in video that make it so much more easier to use. Compact has been an absolute gem and just so much fun to use. It's been ridiculously fun, and honestly, it is what anybody that's making content on a budget, or you're not trying to buy and learn and do a whole bunch, and it has a ton of other things that cameras that cost way more or just more than double the price, this little camera is having it. And again, it's punching way above its weight class. So I think the Sony ZV-1 is a way better camera for video, and this is not even including in the photo specs, way better camera for video honestly than the M50 could be, just simply because when it started out but with a bunch of limitations. But I don't know, you let me know. Most of you guys probably have the M50, or you've considered it, or you got your hands on it before. What do you think? Are you leaning more towards the Sony ZV-1 because of some of the things that I mentioned, or are you still looking at the Canon M50 because price at the end of the day may be, enough for you, and it's like 1080p, it'll get the job done? And like I said, it's still a great camera, there's nothing wrong with it. I just think that it's starting to show its limitations versus its age when it comes to video. But those are some of my thoughts. Let me know yours down below. And with that, guys, a little bit of passion. I'll see you on the next video.